Hello friends, PM Anu Sharma this side. In this video, I am going to explain you the basic setup which we can do in the Microsoft Dynamics Finance and Operation for the TDS and TCS. So this is a little disclaimer for you. Now let's move to the Dynamics. So friends, to set up the withholding tax, we have two sections. One is this withholding tax section and another one is this section, withholding tax. Here what we need to do first? First, we need to set up the withholding tax component group, then withholding tax component. So let's set up one by one. I have also explained everything in this PPT file that I will also provide you on my LinkedIn post. So subscribe my LinkedIn, go and follow me on LinkedIn. So you will get that PPT. Now, the first setup is the withholding tax component. So what we do, click on the new button and set up the withholding tax component group. Then set up the withholding tax component. This is one component which I set up and select the withholding tax group which you have just created. Then go back. So this is some basic setup which these are just masters you need to create. After that, after creating the component group component, then you need to create the threshold definition. So threshold definition, what does threshold definition means? Let's understand first. So I will explain you using this example which I have. Yeah, this one. So for example, this section 194J, suppose it has a limit of let's say 10% with pen and let's say 20% without pen and 50%, 50,000, up to 50,000 there should be no deduction of the TDS. TDS means withholding tax. Some people who might not be familiar with the Indian laws, they don't know about the TDS concept. So TDS is just a tax deducted as source. TDS is just like withholding tax. So whenever we do a particular transaction that is related to the professional service in 194J, then subsection A, then 10% TDS will be deducted and 20% will be deducted if PAN means PAN number, permanent account number is not available with the other party. So these things we need to remember. We don't actually need to remember, we just need to configure. So always and always you need to get these details from your finance team. Ask the finance team to give you proper rate, proper limits, proper section name, everything you need to get from the finance team. Now let's understand what is the threshold definition. So threshold definition basically means it contains all the limits up to which the TDS should not be deducted. So it's like a slab type of thing. So we need to create. So click on the new button and then give it a name and then it will be created. I have already created this one. So after creating it, you need to click on the threshold designer to design this threshold. So now we are designing it. How we will design? Uh, you need to click on the new button, give the effective date, effective from, effective to. So there will be only one year difference. So you can see it start from 2025 and end to 2026. The lower limit will be 0 and the upper limit will be 50,000 because up to 50,000 we don't want to deduct any TDS. Then the type will be cumulative and then click here in the top node and then click on the new button so that a new line will be created and it will be on the same level as of the above. Then give the same date range and the upper limit of the first line will become the lower limit of the second, and then select type as cumulative, and then in the final level select yes. So if we select it yes, then we will able to define some tax rate for this that I will explain you in the in further in this video. So we were here as component group. I have explained components. I have explained threshold definition. I have explained this is very important. Then after designing the threshold definition, we need to move to this section. This one. This section role is complete. Basic setup is complete. Only basic setup. There are also advanced setup like this initial threshold achieved, which maybe we will discuss in further videos. But I am going to explain you all the basic setup which are compulsory to uh, proceed with this withholding tax. Now we need to define the withholding tax authority. It is same as TDS authority is the same as for any withholding tax. So TDS authority you need to define. Click on the new button and then define the vendor and then withholding tax authority. After that, go to withholding tax periods and click on the new button and then fill all the dates and select your withholding tax authority and select the appropriate period. The period will be given to you by the finance team. What is their settlement period? How they are settling the TDS. So it's generally 1 month, but you need to check with your finance team. So we are done with the settlement part. We are done with the withholding tax authority part. Now you need to configure the withholding tax code. This is very important setup. I will explain you in detail. First, you need to create a new withholding tax code. Provide the name. I am giving appropriate section number with the subsection as well, so that it will be very easy to to see what section is applied and what is the rate. So everything. So proper description should be there. After that, in the main accounts, you need to select the appropriate account and the receivable account. This one is a payable account. Okay. So if I right click over here and click on the view detail, you will see one more thing I want to explain you that in the posting type, India withholding tax should be selected. Then you will be able to select it here. Otherwise, you won't be able to select it here. Then the receivable account. I think in the receivable account it is not required to be selected, but let me just check it. Yeah, okay. So in the receivable account as well, you need to select this one, but I don't think so. I think you can also select by any normal account that you can check. So after that, one more important thing, you need to select TDS here and then select the withholding tax component which we have created. So that's why the proper naming should be important so that you can properly link everything. Now after doing all of this, what you need to do, you need to enable the threshold hierarchy and then enable the pan based accumulation. What does it means? Threshold hierarchy means if you enable this, then you will be able to use the threshold definition which we have created. I will show it to you. So this is the threshold definition which you have created. You will be able to use it only when you enable this. Otherwise, There is very easy setup. That is, go to values and select all those uh, all those withholding tax rate here. You can apply and you can proceed with your transaction. But this is the easy setup, and here we in this setup, if you go to the values and you configure everything here, you do not have much flexibility. That's why if you want a better flexibility, then this setup, this enable threshold hierarchy is recommended. So enable this, then also enable the pen based accumulation. It means if you have more than two or three parties which are having the same PAN number. For example, if we have a company, and it has more than two branches, more than one branches in the different cities, and we are doing transaction with all of them. Then, as per the law, you need to accumulate all of them, all those transactions, to check the limit of the rate of the any section which you are doing the transaction. For example, suppose we are doing a we have a company A, and it has, let's say, two branches. Then all the branches and the company transactions will be considered, and it will be clubbed to check this limit. If it is exceeding this 50,000, then the uh, withholding tax will be applicable. So PAN based accumulation is utilized for this purpose. How the system understand, how the system accumulate, basically you need to properly give the PAN number in the vendor account. That I will show you. So let me just go to any particular vendor. Let's use this account only. Suppose this is a vendor account. Okay. If you go to the bottom, there you have PAN information. If you select, we have three uh, options available: not available, received, applied. So you need to select received, then you need to provide the PAN number like this. So you can provide your PAN number. Then if more than more than one vendor have the same PAN number, then the transaction will be clubbed. So this is how the system knows how to club the transaction. So based on this PAN number which we provide. So now going back to the withholding tax code, here we have enabled the threshold, threshold hierarchy, PAN based accumulation. Now go to the threshold references. Go to the threshold designer. First, first you need to click on the new button and select the appropriate threshold which you have created. Then go to the threshold designer. Then you have this option yeah, available. First, I want to explain you one more thing. So when you come to this basic setup, then you need to select you need to create only all types and select this one. You can ignore this setup, this one. This I have created for lower deduction certificate, that I will explain you in the future videos. So only you need to create this one. You just need to select this threshold definition which we have created. So after that, this threshold will be available to you. You need to select the last one where the final level is yes. So all the final level where it is yes, you need to provide the tax, how much tax percentage will be applied. So for example, let's say for the receive part, if uh, if we have PAN number available, it means PAN status. It means if it is received. So on the vendor account, if it is received, then 10% should be applied. And for rest of the cases, I have put 30%. Let me change it to 20%. So if PAN number is not available, or let's say PAN number is not applicable, as per our discussion with the finance team, whatever they will say, you need to configure accordingly and just save it. Then go back and go back. After you do this, your setup, your withholding tax code setup will be done. Then you need to go to withholding tax group, and here you need to uh, create a new group and give the name as 194A, description 194A, tax type 194A, and then you need to select the withholding tax code, and then go to the designer and click on the new button. Click on the new button and select the 194A tax code here, and then go back, and then you will have to ignore this zero. Why this is zero coming? Because we are not using the easy setup that is available here in the values. So that's why it is coming zero, but it is perfectly fine because we will be able to do transaction and withholding tax will be applied. So if you use this setup, value setup, then the rate will be available. So I will also explain you this easy setup, maybe on the further videos, because I want to explain only the basic setup right now. Now everything is done. So let's do some transaction on the vendor. So let me just select one vendor. Let me just select, let's say this vendor. If I go to the most downside here, yeah, this vendor, and number is on received status, and then go to the withholding tax in the invoice and delivery. I think it will be available. Yeah. So go and select the TDS group which we have created, and then save it, and then create a invoice journal. So let's go create new invoice journal. Invoice journal. Go to lines. Then select the appropriate vendor here. Then select the let's say account. Any account we can use. Let me just use some expense account which may be starting from the 6 series. Postage expense. Really fine. Invoice date. Today's date. Invoice number. Test TTS 01. The invoice amount should be should be 1 lakh, so that we will be able to check that TDS is getting deducted because we have 50,000 limit. Okay. Now save it. I think I have done all the setups. Go to the general section. Here the TDS group is appearing. Let's check the withholding tax. Okay, so withholding tax, friends, right now it is not getting calculated. Okay, no issues. No issues. Let's check why it is not getting calculated. Okay, let me just go to the group, withholding tax group. Yeah, 194J, it is available here. Let's select threshold definition is available. Let me just delete this line and then go back and save it again. Let's check it again. It is not getting calculated. Let me just check it. Yeah, okay, okay. It is not getting calculated because actually for the load deduction certificate, I have done, some setup, which I was in middle of that. I have not completed that setup, so that's why it is not getting calculated. Now it will calculate. So let's go back again, save it. Now check the withholding tax. Yeah, it is getting calculated. So we can see, friend, the withholding tax is getting calculated and it is getting calculated as 10%.